This may have been one of the hardest episodes I've ever written because this music took me to places I don't think I was ready to revisit.
For real, for real?
Baby, when I say waterworks, a whole ass crybaby, y'all. One thing water sign music will do is pull you in, out, around, and straight down memory lane. When it comes to Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces, they collect emotional experiences the way some people collect old photographs. Every relationship, every heartbreak, every moment of intimacy gets filed away somewhere inside them. And that's why so much water sign music isn't just emotional, it's reflexive. It remembers, it revisits, and it makes you feel something all over again. Because water signs don't just experience love, they archive it. But before we dive into the playlist and these feelings, boo, welcome back to Sister Signs and Red Flags, the podcast where astrology ain't therapy, but girl, it's close. I'm your host, Lika, and if you're new here, hi, hello, and welcome to my show. Thank you so much for tuning in. And to returning viewers and listeners, y'all already know I appreciate your support so much. Now, without further ado, let's get into this watery vibes playlist, okay? Cancer is ruled by the moon, so it's probably the sign most often stereotyped as being emotional. And to be fair, Cancer is deeply emotional, but I don't think that's what makes Cancer Cancer.
What you talking about, Willis?
I think what makes Cancer unique actually is that they remember love. Not just the people, but the moments, the conversations, the routines, the places, the way someone made them feel. And Cancer doesn't just miss people, they miss the emotional home they built with them. That's why Cancer music almost always sounds reflective. It sounds like somebody looking backward. And so for Cancer, I'm starting with I Remember by Keisha Cole. And honestly, y'all, the title alone is Cancer. This song isn't about chasing someone back. It's about replaying what once was. Every lyric feels like she's replaying moments in her head, trying to understand how something that once felt so real became a memory. And that is very much so Cancer. Cancer has this gift for preserving emotional history. Sometimes that's beautiful, sometimes it's painful, but either way, they still remember. Indeed. Next, we Have You Ever by Brandy. This song captures another side of Cancer, longing, not just for a person, but for the experience of loving them. It's full of questions, vulnerability, and emotional honesty. There's no pretending to be unaffected. Cancer isn't interested in acting like they're okay when they're not. If something mattered to them, they'll sit with those feelings until they're ready to let them go. And finally, we have Walked Out of Heaven by Jagged Edge. Now, this one might be the most Cancer song on the list because the loss isn't just about losing a relationship. It's about losing the place where you felt emotionally safe. The title itself tells the story. He didn't just lose a person, he feels like he lost home. And if there is one thing that Cancer understands very well, it's what home feels like. So when home changes, everything changes. And that's the thing about a Cancer. They don't just hold on to a person, they preserve the ghost of how that person used to look at them. Sometimes it's a beautiful history and sometimes it's heavy, but either way, they live in the rearview mirror. And that's why Cancer remembers love. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto, the planet of transformation, intimacy, power, and rebirth. And because Scorpio has such a strong reputation for being sexual, I think people sometimes miss what Scorpio is really searching for.
I want details.
It isn't just about physical intimacy. It's about emotional intimacy because Scorpio doesn't just want to be loved. They want to be known, to be understood, and to experience a connection that changes them. That's why I say Scorpio possesses love, but not in the way you may think. Because it's not because they want to own people. Absolutely not. That's more Taurus, by the way. But it's because when Scorpio loves, they give people access to parts of themselves that very few ever get to see. And once that kind of connection exists, it never really leaves them. So for Scorpio, I'm starting with Never End Remix by Future featuring Kelly Rowland. This song feels incredibly Scorpio because it's about a connection that refuses to completely disappear. No matter how much time passes, the emotional pull is still there. Honey is messy, it's magnetic, and it's the kind of relationship that keeps drawing two people back to each other, even when they know it probably shouldn't. Like, we should have walked away from this shit a long time ago, okay? So that intensity is very Scorpio.
Oh boy, here we go again.
Next is Can't Let Go by Anthony Hamilton. And honestly, y'all, the title almost says everything because this isn't a song about refusing to move on out of pride. It's about loving someone so deeply that part of you still belongs to the relationship long after it's over. That's Scorpio. Love isn't a passing phase, it's an emotional tattoo. They don't just date you, they let you alter their chemistry. And when you let someone that deep into your psyche, walking away isn't as simple as changing your relationship status. You have to learn how to live with the imprint they left behind. Finally, we have Anytime, Any Place by Janet Jackson. Now, yes, this song is very sensual, but I don't think that's what makes it Scorpio. What makes it Scorpio is the trust, the vulnerability, the willingness to be completely open with another person. The intimacy isn't just physical, it's emotional. It's two people creating a space where nothing has to be hidden. And that's what Scorpio really craves. Not attention, not control, but connection. And the kind that reaches beneath the surface. Because Scorpio doesn't just experience love, y'all. They allow love to transform them. And once that happens, a part of it stays with them forever. Pisces is ruled by Neptune, the planet of dreams, imagination, spirituality, and illusion. But traditionally, Pisces is also ruled by Jupiter, the planet of hope, wisdom, expansion, and faith. And I actually think you need both planets to understand Pisces because Neptune gives Pisces the ability to dream, while Jupiter gives them the ability to believe. That's why I say Pisces imagines love. Not because Pisces is disconnected from reality, but because they're always able to see what love could become. So imaginative, right? They fall in love with possibility, with potential, and with the feeling that maybe, just maybe, this could be something extraordinary.
I'm a real boy.
So for Pisces, I'm starting with Every Time I Close My Eyes by Babyface. And honestly, this song is Pisces from the very first line. The title alone tells you everything. Every time I close my eyes, the imagination takes over. The relationship exists somewhere between memory, hope, and fantasy. That's classic Pisces. And baby, don't I know it. Next is Lifetime by Maxwell. Now, this song doesn't feel rushed. It actually feels eternal. It's about devotion that reaches beyond a single moment, beyond a season, beyond circumstances, and there's almost something that's spiritual about it. Like, love isn't just something you experience, it's something you're meant to grow through. That combination of faith, hope, and unconditional devotion feels incredibly Pisces.
The only red flag is that he don't vote.
And finally, we have Thinking About You by Frank Ocean. This song perfectly captures the emotional uncertainty that Pisces often lives in. Is this relationship real? Is it over? Could it happen again? Or does it only exist inside my mind now? The song never really answers those questions. It simply allows you to sit inside them. And that's very Piscean. Sometimes the feeling matters more than having the answer. Because Pisces doesn't just imagine a person, they imagine a future, a possibility, a love story that hasn't even happened yet, or maybe one that only ever existed inside their heart. And when I tell you that's so Pisces, y'all, speaking from experience. And to bring all of this together, the anthem for the water signs is Still by Tamia. Now, I love this song so much. This song feels like a water sign anthem because it centers on one core idea. Some loves don't simply end. They become part of who you are. And you can hear that throughout the lyrics, the tone, and the emotion of the song. It isn't dramatic, it isn't begging, and it isn't trying to convince anyone to come back. It's simply acknowledging that some feelings never completely leave, and that is very water sign. Because for water signs, love isn't just something they experience, it's something they carry. And what makes this song fit all three signs is how it reflects a different way of holding on to love. For Cancer, for instance, love becomes memory. The relationship may end, but the feelings, the moments, and the emotional home they created remain. For Scorpio, love becomes transformation. Once they've truly opened themselves to someone, that connection leaves fingerprints. It changes them. And for Pisces, love becomes possibility. Even after everything has changed, there's still a part of them that believes in what the relationship meant and what it could have been. And that's why this song works as the anthem, because it isn't asking, do you still love me? It's quietly admitting something deeper. I still love you. Because that's really the ultimate water sign dilemma, right? How do you stop loving someone who became a permanent part of your emotional history? Cancer remembers love. Scorpio possesses love. And Pisces imagines love. And all three signs don't just experience love, they archive it. So, with that being said, that is Sounds Like a Sign, Water Signs Edition. The full playlist is live now on YouTube and Spotify, so make sure you go and run that back. But I do want to know, what song do you think is the ultimate water sign anthem? And what songs would you add to this playlist or take away? Drop them down in the comments. But until next time, y'all, stay cute, stay petty, and be safe out there. Bye.